All right, let's talk about liberals. This is partly just going to be kind of a vocabulary lesson because people use this term liberal and liberalism in different ways and it becomes confusing for people. When political scientists, academics, theorists talk about liberalism, they're referring to a specific philosophy that emerged out of the Enlightenment in the 17th and 18th centuries. We're talking about a group of sort of social contract theories from people like John Locke and J.S. Mill that prioritize individual rights and individual liberty, rights to property, to the pursuit of happiness, etc. Things that sound very familiar to you if you know about American history, because these were extremely influential in the creation of the Constitution, the Declaration of Independence, etc. Liberals spearheaded movements away from theocracy and monarchism and towards secularism and popular sovereignty. In this sense, just about everyone in mainstream politics in the United States is a liberal, because the Constitution itself is grounded in liberalism. Liberalism at its core represents a worldview where the state's job is just to preserve individual rights so that people can go about seeking profit and seeking prosperity on their own terms. So liberalism has a historical and theoretical fidelity to free market economies. Where this gets confusing is the rhetorical use of liberal in the context of U.S. politics to refer to Democrats and to people who are left of center. There are insidious reasons for this, by the way, as practically no one in American politics is actually left of center according to traditional political, scientific, and theoretic metrics that would place states and people on a continuum from left to right. Even the most left-leaning Democrats in the United States are right of center. So to describe liberalism or liberals as left is to close off anything that is actually left from even entering into the political discussion. This is also going to be confusing for people because people don't really understand what the left to right terminology even actually means, because that is supposed to denote an economic philosophy. At the very far right, you have no intervention, no supervision of markets. You have nothing containing the seeking of profit, nothing putting caps on corporations or individuals from behaving in whatever way they see fit in order to garner capital. And at the very farthest left, you have the opposite. You have completely supervised, completely guided markets for the creation of public or collective good. Traditional liberal would be right of center according to that continuum. People confuse that continuum with the libertarian authoritarian supervision of private life, which is a different sort of axis on the political scale. It doesn't really end up matching up either, because there are left authoritarians and right libertarians, and it just all gets very muddled and very complicated. So using right and left as a heuristic to describe someone's political views when it comes to what the state is supposed to morally mandate is just really dumb and doesn't really guide any kind of intellectual conversation. Reason for this, the reason why liberal gets equated with left in American politics and American political rhetoric, is because of the rise of hard-right proto-fascist politics in this country. Is because of movements away from the preservation of individual rights by the state, further in the direction of the concentration of power in a single person, or in the direction of subordinating individual rights to the interests of the nation, for instance. Or moving away from the state's duty to protect individual rights from corporate interests. So by equating liberalism with left extremism, you are able to move the perceived political center further to the right.